where this is being filmed was up in Ashland, Oregon, which is a very magical, lovely, lovely community in the surrounded by mountains, not big mountains, just surrounded by nice rolling mountains. And the water we're drinking comes from Mount Shasta, which is an hour south of here. Now, for anybody who's not familiar with Mount Shasta is this 14,000 foot plus mountain that's sort of stuck in the middle of nowhere. When you're driving along Highway 5, you have sort of mountains, and then all of a sudden there's this massive, massive thing. And I call her she. Many call her he. She's both. He's both. Yet Mount Shasta, at the city park of Mount Shasta, is the birthplace of the Sacramento River. And for all of the locals and those who visit Mount Shasta, and often those who are in the surrounding areas, make the pilgrimage to the headwaters. I do it probably twice a week with my bottles in hand to fill up directly from the source coming directly out of the mountain. I've been told that the water coming out of Mount Shasta comes out at a speed or a volume of 12 million gallons a day. It's been doing this for thousands of years. And what is so ironic when you see how much water is coming out and where it's going, that and has been for so long, that they have water problems in Southern California. But of course, that's part of the manipulation. There's always the water. Now, I've heard one report, and I don't know how true it is, but because of the thickness of the glacier and the way that the water over these thousands of years has been settling within the mountain, that the water that comes out now is somewhere around 40 million years old. 40,000 years old, sorry, 40,000 years old. Is it true? I don't know. But I tell you what, it is pure, it is refreshing, it is alive, because it's coming from nature's pure source, hasn't touched any pipes, hasn't touched anything except the bottle that I put under that spout, under that source coming out. Very privileged to have the water. A few minutes ago, we were talking about water and the emotional body and how it's connected to the feminine. When I talk about the feminine and the masculine, the male, the patriarchal and the matriarchal, it is not male bashing and it is not female bashing in any way. It is an honoring of both the natural forces that are creation, that they're the natural forces that you find in all nature, that we have to have the duality, so to speak, of male and female, of dark and light. We've put the connotation of good and bad onto it. That's what we have done in this material world. But actually in nature it doesn't exist. It just is. It goes with the flow, it goes with the seasons, it goes with survival and evolution. So neither is good or bad. Something flourishes and is born and grows, and then it goes to a cycle where it wilts and it dies, it's complete, it goes into the earth, it does whatever it needs to do. The animals, survival of the fittest, same sort of deal. But there's an understanding of a vibration that fits into the natural world that we have lost. And it is our young people that have particularly lost it. Not so much it's everyone who is so focused on once again I go back to the technology, that when people become so entrenched in the technology of video games, of television, of computers, of that whole world that has to be catered to, we lose touch with our life. We lose touch with the forces that are life. And so the message, tremendously important message, is you have to get out and appreciate the nature of the walk on the sand, walk on the earth, bare feet. Feel that connection. Feel the power of the earth underneath you. Sit on there. Just sit. Don't have to do anything. You can only do it for 5 minutes if you want. But allow the feelings to vibrate through you. Allow Mother's Earth beat to help you and touch you, to clear the clutter, to clear the mind. And then start going about your daily life in a slightly different way. All indigenous cultures, all older cultures that are still connected to the land are far more grounded. They have a far more easier, per se, way of life. It may not be glamorous. It may not be affluent based on the material world's perception of abundance and lack. Yet their spiritual connection to the life, to the land, to the people is so profoundly strong that they are wealthy beyond measure in comparison to Western societies. Particularly, we'll use the US, the Western society of materialism and commercialism and technology at extremes, which all plays out in everyone's life. Wow, we go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right, I'm going to go back onto track.